Where does he live?
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. 7 o'clock, March 10th. First, approve the minutes of February 24th, 2026.
I move we approve the minutes for February 24th, 2026.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion about police department staffing and payment during Justin Litchfield's medical leave.
I've been trying to find a part-time officer for a while, several weeks. I have a person I would like the board to appoint as a part-time police officer. He comes highly recommended by a lieutenant at Smith College, who I've known for several years. He graduated from the academy this past December, top of his class for academics. He gets a lot of positive feedback from the co-workers, staff, and also students where he works at currently at Smith College. He expressed an interest to want to work in a small town in addition to where he's working out in Smith. He did come out last week for a ride along for about 4 or 5 hours. He liked it. He's fully trained. I believe his field training will be a short duration up here.
Any questions?
No.
Well. How about you, Karen?
Just exactly what would his position and hours be? I'm sorry if you said that it didn't.
It'll be part-time, just fill in, it'll be nights or weekends, probably sometimes on day shift. His current shift right now at Smith College is 3 to 11. He's on a 4 and 2 schedule there, so he would have 2 days off from there, so he could work nights here or weekends or days. He expressed more of an interest in working patrol rather than details, which is favorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we need
yeah.
to give you some relief.
Yes, he has a bachelor's in criminal justice from Westfield State and also a associate's degree from Holyoke Community. He's been with Smith College since 2021.
That's a good long time. What is the hourly rate that you are proposing?
I wanted to go up to 26.
Okay.
Right now, we're just over 23.
Mm,
That's still far below
yeah,
what surrounding towns are.
I move we approve this. To hire this additional officer.
I think I have to second that first and then ask a question about it.
Sure, yes,
So
okay.
do we need to state a minimum, maximum range of hours? So we don't get in trouble with finance committee or anybody else?
I don't think we do for this year because the money's already been appropriated and we're using the unused. Well, we've been using the vacancy money from when Howard resigned. And we have, Justin is on medical leave and we haven't been paying him for the last month. So his salary money is available and you can move salary money around however you want. I double checked that with David Jenkins at KP Law.
All right.
And he just said that we had to approve the hire and the rate. And I'll just say for the record and the benefit of others, one really interesting thing that I learned in that conversation, I had always been told that Justin was a quote, strong chief. And that meant that the select board hired him and he did everything else in the department. No, that's not true. For policemen, a strong chief means that he has the authority to set the policies and regulations or practices for the department, but he doesn't have hiring authority. It is only the fire chief who has hiring authority for his subordinates in addition to setting the policy and regulations. And it is a separate specific statute in Mass General Law. And there's no Mass General Law the statute that says the same thing for police.
Mhm.
So, because I was asking David, what do we have to do? Can the acting chief, does he assume all of those responsibilities? He said, well, that you didn't have that responsibility anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
So for future reference,
Mhm.
with the police department, the chief brings to, he would do all of the
the
research and the
legwork,
hiring and the interviewing and all that stuff, and then he would bring it to us to concur and make the appointment. I just thought that was, since I was so confused, and David Jenkins said that this is a very, very common misunderstanding
Mhm.
throughout the Commonwealth. It's always been,
It's always been that the police chief had to come.
I haven't always been here. But Howard used to say that Justin is a strong chief, and so, he runs the department and you just hire him and that kind of thing. So I didn't know any better, but I learned it. And so since I didn't know any better, I figured, obviously not Ed and Sandy, but there might be somebody else in the room who didn't know that. But thank you. I'm glad to know that we've been doing it right all along, but I just didn't know that we were supposed to be doing it right, that right. I don't know. I'm not making sense tonight. I'm exhausted. Okay,
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
And next time it's convenient for him.
Yeah, I'm
Again, so we can meet.
correct. Yeah, I was gonna try to meet in the next meeting, depending on how the schedule is for.
You can just speed around town and maybe meet him that way.
I might want for somewhat different circumstances and. Yeah, I don't know that fast.
Discussion of change to hours and compensation for executive assistant position.
Well, we've been tossing around the idea because where was it that we were having this conversation? I can't remember when. I think,
that conversation has been has been since I've been here.
yeah, well, the thing is, the job description is written is at least or more than a full-time job. And we're only paying for 20 hours a week, and I think that's one of the issues. And I didn't check on the threshold at which people get benefits, but I'm sure at 30 hours a week, the person would. I think we should make it a 30-hour-a-week job. Instead of a 20-hour job.
Yeah, it gets better candidates.
Mhm. And I think we need to put that in our budget request to the finance committee. Because I think it will, if we can get better candidates and somebody who will be really committed to the job, then it will make things run more smoothly.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
So if we're doing that, then I think what we need to do in,
Board pressure talk, finance, see what's available.
I've been talking. And I think we need to increase the salary at least commensurate with the 50% raise. And, so that's another issue that I think the finance committee probably wants us to address. But, when Paula was doing the job, and I did talk to Paula about this, it was always, it was just a salary job.
Right.
She worked to the job. And I think that's what we want and what we need.
To get the outcome of 30.
So I think that should be the number for the salary, 37,500 for 30 hours. And I don't, that's not an especially
No,
high salary,
No, not at all.
no, not today.
Please no.
and not for what we're expecting of this person. In my opinion.
Well, I think we could put that in a report to the finance committee, but
I think we just needed to agree on it before we put that out there.
Sounds good to me. If you want somebody that's gonna stay and do something.
Yeah. And that also assures us that they would get full benefits.
As long as that's down or whatever meets the.
I'm sure 30 hours a week does. Yeah, I think it was at 20. So. Do we need to vote?
Right,
I move that we increase the hours and salary for the executive assistants of the select board, 20 hours a week to 30 hours a week. And from $25,000 a year to 37,500 a year, 37,500 a year. And that we designate it as a salary position, not an hourly position.
and the position is to earn benefits.
Yes, that's it. Yes,
That motion.
All in favor?
That's true.
Well, one of our favorites, KP Law payment, $1,396.50.
I move that we pay the KP Law payment of $1,396.50.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Reminder, 2025 annual reports are now overdue. Letter from Mike Valley expressing interest in becoming a member of the Plainfield Cemetery Commission.
I move that we appoint Michael Melly to the Plainfield Cemetery Commission.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Done. You know, somebody just needs to write to Michael Melly and tell him that he's on the commission and let him know that we did that.
I got a few of the miscellaneous things.
Okay.
Our fiscal year 2027, chapter 90, is $343,561.30.
How does that compare to last year?
I don't remember. Still a good number, so that's good. And then some not so good news, that the total assessment paying to school is $1,218,713.
Was the finance committee copied on all this?
This is the Mohawk Trail Regional School District Assessment Payment Schedule down right for the fiscal year 2027.
Why don't you just write a note on there somewhere and say, you know, make sure that the finance committee has a copy of that, because we're gonna be meeting with Mohawk Trail in a couple of weeks. I can't remember the exact date. We were talking about the schedule last night, and I want to make sure that they have any paperwork that we received.
And all I got. Any other questions?
Any other issues?
Did you want to schedule the?
Oh, yeah, we do need to schedule a special town meeting so that the recreation committee can have the resources to finish the renovations of the basketball court. And do that out of current year appropriations, as opposed to taking it to a single town meeting where that would be appropriating money for next fiscal year. So they want to be able to get it done before June 30. So it has to be out of this year's funds.
Right.
So
Are the funds already allocated for something else?
it could come out of free cash, or
There is,
you could take it from free cash, you could take it from stability fund, but how much, what's just ballpark number you think it's gonna cost?
14,000 is what we got.
$14,000. So there's several options, and if, depending upon when we schedule it, we might even by then have a clearer picture on which boards, commissions, and committees or departments are going to have some surplus this year that would otherwise go into free cash, and you could just, I don't know if you can just move it around.
We prefer to have it on it.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
just gonna make a meeting.
take it out of free cash and then it'll be filled back up with somebody else's. So if we start today at March 10, our next meeting is on the 24th.
I'm not seeing a rush for it if we want. It until sometime in April,
Okay, so we could do,
so
we did Tuesday, April 7th, which is not our first meeting in April. That's a week before our first meeting in April. That's a free Tuesday night.
Yeah. Works for me.
Oh, do we have enough time? So I see, we have 1, 2, 3, yeah, we have 4. We have 4 weeks to get that, so we have to have the warrant ready by the 24th. Or actually, it would be better if we did it before the 24th, because we need to post it on the 24th. So. If that works for everybody, and this is a single warrant. Meeting.
For us, it's a single
Yeah.
one.
And can you take a stab at the first draft of the warrant? Just so, cause I think you have the right description. Is that fair? And then you can just get it to me or Paula and we'll work on it. And I am now in the habit of running everything by KP Law just because we've made mistakes on our warrants before. And if you just send them an email, they'll give you the citation of Mass General Law and they don't charge you that for it. So, whenever you can get to that and send it to. Send me the name and phone number of the dog groomer in Northampton you were telling me about?
Do you want that?
No.
That's a
person.
on a paper, I can do it. Yeah.
It's just a personal request of Sandy. I was over at their house, around special town meeting warrants one time. And she was telling me that, is it your granddaughter, your daughter? Her daughter has won, this doesn't go in the minutes, this is just,
Ignoring you.
We could just burn it then.
all right, I move we adjourn.
That's the motion.
All in favor?
All right, so, I was telling her about having a hard time finding a groomer for my dogs.
What would you